The year 1789 marked a turning point in French history. France, for centuries under the rule of absolute monarchs, faced a crisis. The French monarchy, once a symbol of power and stability, began to crumble under its own weight. Years of extravagant spending by the royal court, coupled with a series of poor harvests, had driven France to the brink of economic ruin. The French people, burdened by heavy taxes and inspired by Enlightenment ideals, grew increasingly disillusioned with the monarchy. The lavish lifestyle of King Louis XVI and his queen, Marie Antoinette, stood in stark contrast to the plight of the common people. As the French people starved, the royals continued their extravagant ways, seemingly oblivious to the suffering around them. This disconnect between the rulers and the ruled fueled popular resentment and set the stage for revolution. The storming of the Bastille prison on July 14, 1789, marked a symbolic turning point. This event, sparked by rumors of royal troops amassing in Paris, ignited a wave of popular uprisings across the country. The Bastille, a symbol of royal authority and oppression, fell into the hands of the people. Its fall signaled the end of the absolute monarchy and the beginning of a new era for France. The French Revolution, born out of economic hardship, social inequality, and political oppression, promised a radical transformation of French society. It aimed to dismantle the old order, characterized by feudal privileges and absolute monarchy, and create a new France based on liberty, equality, and fraternity. The fall of the monarchy was just the beginning of this tumultuous journey. The French Revolution was not just about tearing down the old, it was also about building a new and more just society. At the heart of this endeavor was the National Assembly, a body formed by representatives of the Third Estate. The Third Estate, comprising commoners, had long been marginalized in French society, their voices drowned out by the clergy and the nobility. The formation of the National Assembly in June 1789 marked a significant shift in power. It declared itself the true representative of the French people, challenging the legitimacy of the king and the existing political order. This act of defiance, driven by a desire for popular sovereignty, marked the beginning of representative government in France. The National Assembly, inspired by Enlightenment ideals, embarked on a series of radical reforms. They abolished feudal privileges, dismantling the centuries-old system that had granted special rights to the nobility and clergy. They adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, a document that proclaimed the fundamental rights of all individuals. The National Assembly's actions represented a clean break from the past. They were laying the groundwork for a new France, one where power resided not in the hands of a king, but in the hands of the people. This transition, however, would not be smooth or bloodless. The French Revolution, like many revolutions before it, would be marked by periods of intense violence and upheaval. The French Revolution was a complex and chaotic period, shaped by the actions and ideologies of numerous individuals. Among these figures, some emerged as particularly influential, their names forever etched in the annals of history. These individuals, driven by a mix of idealism, ambition, and a desire for change, played pivotal roles in shaping the course of the revolution. Maximilien Robespierre, a lawyer and politician, became synonymous with the Reign of Terror. A staunch advocate for virtue and terror, he believed that the ends justified the means in achieving a just and virtuous republic. His ruthless pursuit of enemies of the revolution led to the execution of thousands, making him a figure of both admiration and revulsion. Georges Danton, a charismatic lawyer and revolutionary, played a key role in the early stages of the revolution. Known for his fiery speeches and popular appeal, he advocated for a more moderate approach compared to Robespierre. However, he too fell victim to the revolution's insatiable appetite for blood, executed by the very forces he helped unleash. Jean-Paul Marat, a physician and journalist, wielded considerable influence through his radical writings. His newspaper, L'Ami du Peuple, the Friend of the People, became a mouthpiece for the revolution's most radical elements. He called for the execution of those deemed enemies of the revolution, further fueling the cycle of violence that gripped France. These figures, despite their differing approaches and eventual fates, shared a common goal: the creation of a new France free from the shackles of the past. Their actions, often brutal and uncompromising, highlight the complexities and contradictions inherent in revolutions. The French Revolution was a period of immense upheaval, marked by a series of dramatic events that reshaped the political and social landscape of France. These events, often violent and chaotic, reflected the deep divisions within French society and the unwavering commitment of the revolutionaries to their cause.